He got a drink like this because he won't fuck her.
Impressive isn't
Woo!
the word. So if I'm judged for
Anybody else need a shot of this?
if I'm judged for having great taste,
We are in the bar, so help yourself. We got this for the next hour. Woo!
I've had sex with 35 guys. Okay.
Woo!
Y'all real upset by the fact that Brittany Renner had sex with 35 people, huh?
So you said your count is 35?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you feel about that number?
It's kind of like annoying because at least half of my list I only had with one time.
Oh, okay.
Which means she was having one night stands with niggas with whack dick. That's what that's giving. If you only had sex with them one time, that means you was out here wilding, having, one night stands, and those men, their dick wasn't even good enough for you to go back a second time, which is why I feel like no matter how you slice it, women shouldn't roll like that because they are more valuable in the scenario. You need to make sure that this nigga can make you come if you going to actually lay down with him. Whatever she's on is self-deprecation. The same way men self-destruct, self-sabotage, ruin all their, opportunities. To me, she's doing the same thing with the way she slept with these men. But I still don't feel like that's a whole bunch of men. She's 30-something years old. She's like 30-something years old. Like 35 guys is what? Like 2-3 dudes a year or some shit like that for the past 15, maybe even longer years. Like, it's not that deep, y'all. I honestly feel like it's really weird when y'all care that much about a woman's body count, as you call it. I think it's weird that you even care. Because I don't think men do care. I think they pretend like they care, but I don't think they care. I think all of the niggas that talk shit online about a woman having a small body count, they will fuck the girl that has fucked 1,000 dudes. They absolutely will. They absolutely will. They may not publicly wife her, if you think that matters, because the woman that gets publicly wifed also gets cheated on. So at the end of the day, it's, like pick a struggle. But I don't really understand why people get so wrapped up in other people's coochies. If she doesn't have an STD and you not fucking her, I don't know what you worrying about it for.
So, but I still have to wear those.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
have to have
It
them.
still happened, but I think that's the only thing that's annoying is that that's my number and I can't even have on a regular basis. It's usually quarterly, like that's kind of been my schedule. Unless I'm in a relationship or, talking to someone, that pre-commitment phase, which has not been anything recently. It sucks. So over probably about half my list.
Men don't care about body counts. Men don't care about any of that. If they want to fuck you, they don't care about any of that. And the fact that it's even a conversation is so ridiculous to me because most men have had sex with way more women than women have had sex with men.
One time. So.
I think that is how it is for a lot of girls, I would say.
That sucks.
She feels a lot of shame and guilt about it, and I wish she would unwrap herself from that. I get it, because like the world reinforces you feeling a whole bunch of shame and guilt about whatever sexual experiences that you've had, but I don't think you should feel any shame or any guilt around whatever you've chosen to do. It's okay. We all make mistakes. We all handle our trauma differently. We all want to experience life in a different way. And so me personally, even though I feel like women should never be out there just giving themselves to any old nigga on no one night stand tip for a plethora of reasons. You don't know if they'll hurt you. You may not get what you want to get out of the situation, and now you've had a close body encounter with some fucking creep because you was drunk that night. Yeah, that shit don't feel good all the time the next day. And niggas will make you feel bad about it by making you feel like you've, devalued yourself by fucking with them, which is the weirdest shit, okay? Hey, Erica, shout out to you. Because, you talk about that shit all the time. How they act like, oh, you've devalued yourself by fucking with them, which should let you know all of these niggas are not worthy of you. And you should be way, way, way more selective with who you give your coochie to. You should. But essentially, I feel like she's telling everybody because she feels a lot of shame and guilt, and she thinks if she talks about it, it will relinquish some of the shame and some of the guilt, or it'll have people coming at her and she'll receive the negative attention that she already feels on the inside. Brittany Renner is a very like traumatized and fucked up individual. Like, I just want to say that. Like, look at her face. She feels a lot of shame and guilt behind it. And I don't want her to feel any shame or any guilt behind her sexual experiences. It's her life. It's her life. You know what I'm saying? And it's your life and it's my life. And I think it's weird when people try to shame you about sex, because everybody's having sex. Anybody can lie about how many people they've actually slept with. The people that are honest seem to get the most backlash about it. But essentially, I feel like, girl, it's okay. Like, you really don't need to feel bad about however many men that you slept with. That's your experience. That's your life. By the time you get to 60 years old, you'll probably have a whole bunch of stories to tell somebody that might enrich their understanding. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like everything needs to be thought about so black and white the way everybody does. You know, she need to let go of that shame. I think that when we feel a lot of shame and guilt about our decisions or whatever we've done in our lives, we self-destruct. You know what I'm saying? Like, we find ways to self-sabotage and to hurt ourselves because we feel like we deserve to be hurt. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like there's a shock value to it, but not really. In this day and age, I really do feel like Shannon Sharp over there overreacting to the 35 men. When in real life, I was like, that's it. Like 35, bitch. That's your number at 30 some years old. Like, okay, great. Like, so what? Are you going around giving people STDs or something like that? If not, then who gives a fuck? Soul Ties has a lot. And guess what? Soul Ties, I think that's for the people who feel that way. I don't think that applies to everybody. I know y'all like to feel like that, but essentially, sex is sex. And every experience doesn't mean that I'm deeply, connected to this person from now on because we've had sex. Yeah, no. Everybody doesn't feel that way. That is not how that works for every person. For those of us that do feel strong connections to the people we've had sex with, whatever, that's fine. But I personally feel like that type of thing, the soul tie, it adds more shame and more guilt. When really, I think it's okay for women to have casual sexual experiences as long as they're safe, if that's what they choose to do. I do. I'm tired of the puritanical mindset about sex. Y'all feel like men can get as many women on they dicks as they want to. And whenever women have similar experiences, everybody wants to act as if, well, look what you've done. You've tied yourself. Girl, fuck you. Fuck you. Boy, fuck you. Like, sex is sex. Sex is an experience. Sex is a very powerful, energetic tool to be used spiritually and just for enjoyment. That's why women have clitorises, because we're merely supposed to enjoy that shit. And I find it problematic when you're having sex and not enjoying it. I find it problematic when you're having sex and you can't trust the person that you're having sex with. I have a problem when women give themselves too freely to people that don't deserve them. That's the issues that I would have, okay? But outside of that, as a woman, I am not looking at every other woman with a body count, looking at her like, I'm better than you because I've only had sex with a handful of people. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Y'all need to grow up a little bit.
So you said your count is 35?
I've had sex with 35 guys.
Okay? Everybody need to just, grow up a little bit. And stay out of other people's coochies. Okay.